Now that I think about it, he kind of reminds me of Salad Fingers.
I'm here to inquire about your spoons.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content. Anywhere on the internet, promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we are jumping into rSlash NeckbeardStories. I am so glad to be back. I took a little break. I tried a little bit of different content, which went super cool, all things considered. I put up another creepypasta. I did a little BuzzFeed quiz, both of which performed better than I expected. So if you watched those videos, thank you so very much. And if you haven't, well, it's still not too late. Today we've got a couple of Neckbeard stories that kind of touch on some of my triggers. We've got SNOTBEARD and another neckbeard that ends up spitting in somebody's coffee, and oh god, both of those things. Bodily fluids. I can handle a lot of stuff, but moldy food and bodily fluids are definitely two things that really get the cringe flowing. So I'm holding on tight. I'm holding on for dear life during this one. And you should probably do the same. So we'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some Neckbeard Stories cringe. A neckbeard spit in my coffee. Trigger warning for gross description maybe. You've been warned twice now. I just feel the need to vent this story into the void because this has possibly been one of the weirdest interactions that I've had in the 24 trips around the sun that I've survived for. Sorry if it's long, I just tend to ramble a lot. This started around 2 weeks ago, and it all finally came to a head yesterday. To preface, I work in a hospital as a nurse during the afternoon/night shifts. I also happen to drink a lot of coffee, so I tend to go to the one place open late enough when I'm able to take a break, a Subway that is on the hospital grounds. On a lazy Saturday night, going for my daily caffeine intake, I see a new worker around the restaurant. Dude was heavily overweight, shaved bald with a patchy beard, and just kinda lazy looking with his appearance, really. Never the one to judge, as I also sometimes look like I've crawled from the depths of hell with a vengeance. But I reserve that mostly for when I'm in the comfort of my own home, not really out in the public eye. Or especially at your job. Dude, if you're going to your job, clean yourself up. You're representing the business that you work for to everybody that walks in. And I'm not even one for towing the company line or anything like that. I'm not a company man by any stretch of the imagination. But it's just basic. It's so basic. But what you gonna do? Neckbeards, huh? I didn't even speak or pay much attention to that guy. I just got my shit and sat down with my coffee at the bench by the restaurant. Surprisingly, the guy came out like 5 minutes after, food in hand, and sat down next to me on the bench. All was quiet until he pointed out the lanyard that I had sticking out of my pocket. It's from Assassination Classroom. I never have the chance to talk to people about anime, so I do jump at the opportunity when I can. Plus, the dude really did look harmless at first. We talked about old school anime for a while, plus some other random life things. He told me he was studying to be a nurse, and the conversation steers a bit. A red flag popped up in my head when we discussed what sort of field he was going to be in for after he finishes school. He answered that he wanted to get into labor and delivery, which is sort of fine, I guess. Not a lot of male nurses even manage to get into that field for many reasons. It will forever be a female-heavy field, but when I started asking why, the answers just seemed kind of off to me. Like there was some sort of sexual innuendo to his reasons. It's like a male pre-med student wanting to go into gynecology just to stare at Bussy all day. Which obviously, gives off the creepiest possible vibe imaginable. The first thought that came to my mind was that I hoped that he would never get a nursing job a day in his life and any day in his next life or lives. I checked out mentally, and it made me never want to strike up a conversation with this guy again. Once I got up to leave, he tried to ask me for my number to keep talking about anime. Nope. I made the excuse that I needed to get back to my floor and completely dodged the question. Yes, I made a note to keep a distance, but that didn't stop me from getting coffee there every night that I worked a shift. Still, anytime I went, he tried to get flirty. I would dodge the advances like I was fucking Neo from the Matrix. And I thought that I could keep this tango going until he lost interest or at least got the hint. If you have somebody marked as a neckbeard, just know in your heart that they are never going to get the hint. That's not what neckbeards do. The one and only thing that they are ever successful at is being insanely stubborn. I guess he thought I was being coy or something, and that whole thing translated in his mind to, just let me try harder next time. So I admit that I somewhat screwed myself over for not being direct enough from the start. As I've said many times before, eviscerate them in the first 5 minutes. And you'll never have to worry. If you're being passive, letting these beards take an inch, believe me, they're gonna take a mile. I didn't think that I was leading him on or anything, because who would think that constantly rejecting someone for your phone number is flirting? But I forgot the crucial fact that neckbeards have no sense of social cues. That's right, they signed the social contract and promptly ripped it up. Things took a turn Saturday. I did my usual shtick, but in this case I had a companion with me, a sweet resident doctor who wanted to accompany me, who I may or may not have had a slight crush on. We got in line, we chatted close to each other about work things, until we got to the front where the neckbeard was taking orders. He had a sour look on his face while we ordered. The look getting worse when we started the banter of who was going to pay. He just kept giving us this annoyed look, even to the point of snatching the card away from my friend when he finally decided to pay. We just sort of gave each other a look, one of those, what crawled up his ass and died, questioning stares, and we left, not even bothering to stick around for any other incident. I gave that dude a rundown of what happened, and he did advise me to stop going. But again, I thought the neckbeard was harmless enough that nothing serious was going to happen. But I was very wrong on that. Next day, yesterday, same deal. Since it's Sunday, not many workers were around. The only person I saw at the front was the neckbeard. I even debated if I should leave or not, especially since the situation that had happened the day before. But I really needed the coffee. The beard made it, never really thought anything against it, but I really guess I should have known better. I looked mindlessly through my phone, not looking while he made it. After paying, I sat in my usual bench, giddy that I had my coffee in my hand, and I opened the lid to pour my sugar in, but it looked really off to me. There was sort of a gooey thing floating at the top. Oh god. Greenish in color, and a bit of foam around it. Oh god. I'm so glad OP takes like sugar and cream in their coffee, okay? What if you just drank that thing down? Oh! I shouldn't have said it out loud. It took me a second to realize that that fat son of a bitch actually threw a loogie into my coffee without me even realizing. I audibly gagged at the realization, almost wanting to chuck the coffee away in the trash, but the raging bitch inside of me wanted a confrontation. I walked up to the window and started slamming my fist on the glass to get anyone's attention, only for the neckbeard to come out from hiding in the back, with no discernible expression on his face. I started demanding to know why the fuck he spat in my coffee, only for him to deny that he ever did such a thing. He said that, I'm just being a bitch and imagining things. I wanted him to get the manager so that I could tell the manager, but he kept refusing by saying, there's no need for that, and the coffee was fine. This back and forth lasted a whole 5 minutes until I did the best thing that I could do. I gave a scream, like a banshee, or a Karen high off of crystal meth, until the manager frantically ran to the front and asked me what was going on. Still in bitch mode, I explained the situation while taking off the lid and showing what was inside. The manager kind of made a gagging look, told the neckbeard to get into his office, and apologized nonstop. I didn't want to tell him it was fine, I just expected a refund. because any desire I had to drink or eat anything went out the window. Subway coffee is officially ruined for me, and I can only hope that that bitch eats dirt and gets fired. Thank you for enduring whatever this blabber was. God, I say again, I am so glad OP does not drink her coffee black. You saved yourself. Never stop putting sugar in your coffee because it just might have saved you this very day. Oh my God, what a trash human being, first of all. And with absolutely no balls, might I add. He could have spit in the drink when the dude was there and probably got punched out for it, but no. He waited until OP was alone, a girl by herself. And that's the person you want to pick on? Bro, what a slimy little worm. I'd love to fucking crush him, dude. Ugh. I'm honestly surprised you didn't throw the coffee at him, because that probably would have been my first response. I don't need a refund or anything. That $1 is worth seeing this neckbeard covered in hot coffee. I'm sure he did get fired, and I hope that firing makes the foundation of his entire life crumble out from beneath him, so he has some time to reconsider what sort of person he actually wants to be. Get fired from Subway, can't pay for college, no looking at vajayjays in the gynecology unit. What a creep, dude. Some neckbeards are definitely more hateable than others, and this one, he's ranking right up there. I hope Loogie Beard sees this one day. Oh, heavy stuff. But now, we've got one more story to go, so we will jump into the adventures of SNOTBEARD, because I guess we just haven't had enough. So let's see what it do. The Adventures of SNOTBEARD. Hello, friends. I've been binge reading and watching ReddX on YouTube, so I thought I'd share my own story. This is going back a few years, but it was during my time in secondary school. For my friends across the pond, school over here in rainy old England is very different. Secondary school is the stage in your education that you attend before heading off to college or entering the workforce if you should choose. Then from college, you'll head to university or whatever else you wanted. We also don't wear whatever clothes we like. We have school uniforms. This school's particular uniform was black trousers, black shoes, a white button-down shirt, a blue and white striped tie, and a very itchy gray sweater. Total side tangent, but I do think school uniforms are pretty dope. They wear them here in the Philippines too. It's like you don't got to think about what to wear, all this stuff. Although the couple of times that I have sent my daughter off to school all by herself, I did manage to screw it up in one way or another. So it's definitely not foolproof. And I am the proof because I am a fool. Anyways, on to the cast. Names will obviously be changed. OP, just your average computer game nerd. About 5'6" at the time, pretty chubby and socially awkward. Hated sports, and even at this age, I had a strong dislike for people. Well, it only gets worse with age. Albert, or A, my best friend throughout the school years, although we have lost contact now, but he was an Asian kid, bowl cut black hair. He was into anime and computer games too, especially Final Fantasy. Teacher was our teacher for math, a balding squat man who could either be super fun or have a really short fuse and a temper. And SNOTBEARD, or SB. He gets a big old paragraph. A transfer in from another school, as his family had moved away from his old one. He wasn't your typical neckbeard in the sense that he wasn't obese. He was the opposite. In fact, he was so pale, gaunt, and skinny that he made the children that you see in charity ads on TV look kind of healthy. He was a short, rat-looking person, about 5'1". His hair was mousy brown, dandruff-flecked, curly mop that never looked combed or looked after. At the time he joined the school, everyone was going through puberty, so a lot of the lads had started to grow some facial hair. While me and A had started shaving, SB thought a beard looked cool, so he didn't. I wouldn't exactly call his fuzz a beard. Imagine the hairs on top of Homer Simpson's head. Add a few more, and then rotate them and place them on someone's chin. He also wore glasses that didn't properly fit his face. The nose pieces looked moldy. Ugh. and aided in them slipping down his nose. The corners of the lenses had a visible dirt buildup. He'd often be seen pushing them back up into place with skinny, skeletal fingers that looked far too long for his hands. Now that I think about it, he kind of reminds me of salad fingers. I like to touch rusty spoons. His nails were bitten short, but underneath was what remained of visible black dirt and grime. And then there was the smell. It was an insidious stench. You wouldn't notice it at first, but then it would just creep into your nostrils and make itself unwelcome like a squatter in a flat. It was a stale, unclean, unwashed odor that smelt like months-old sweaty gym socks, rotting meat, and the acrid stench of milk as it started to curdle. Oh, God. It's so descriptive, OP. Thank you for that. Oh, boy. There's so much to touch on there, but I don't know how to right now. I guess I'll save it for the end. So where does SNOTBEARD get his name, you might be asking? Well, I don't know if he had a condition or not, but he seemed to produce an overwhelming amount of mucus. Although he spoke with a nasally, whiny, high-pitched voice, his nose seemed forever blocked from the green tides of goop that he seemed to endlessly produce. During the hotter months, it would form a crust around his nostrils. Oh, God, dude. This is the stuff that gets me cringing so hard. It's taking everything out of me. It's taking all the energy that I had. It didn't help that he was forever picking his nose, too, with those dirty fingers, digging out globs of snot and either flicking them, wiping them on his uniform, or if he thought no one was looking, eating them. Oh, why? I guess kids, but oh man, even as a kid, I can't remember eating my boogers. I would wipe them on the wall by the side of my bed where I thought nobody could see. And then one day my stepdad pulled the bed away from the wall and was like, "What the hell is this?" And he made me clean it all up with warm water and a sponge. And they was stuck on there real good. And there was a lot of them. I was 8 years old. I still remember that memory. Crazy. Oh, SNOTBEARD was a nerd too, but for card games rather than computer games. At the time of this tale, Pokemon cards were still all the rage, and naturally, SNOTBEARD had gotten quite the collection with which he'd try to show off to the other kids and gain some friends. Given that me and my friend were also pretty nerdy, we collected the cards too, although not seriously, not like SNOTBEARD. This made him gravitate towards us, slowly. We could see him prowling around the small group of benches that we used to hang around during break times. Hey, SNOTBEARD, what you sneaking around for? Why don't you come on over instead of acting all creepy? OP, no, don't invite him over. For fuck's sake. SNOTBEARD scurried over like some sinister rat-like cadaver, a large glob of snot making its slow, gloopy way down to his top lip. Oh, God. Gets me every time. SNOTBEARD.
Hey guys, want to see my cards? They're all really rare ones. They're really super cool.
OP and A nearly in unison. Sure, why not? Thankfully, we were outside, and the wind was blowing in the opposite direction, so his stench wasn't wafting to our noses, at least not quite yet. As he was laying out his precious Pokemon cards on the bench, he stuck his tongue out and licked it across his top lip. Catching the snot and making quick work of it, me and A both looked at each other and grimaced. SNOTBEARD.
Look at this. Lots of shinies and really rare ones. I bet you guys don't have these.
OP. No, you're right there. I certainly don't. SNOTBEARD.
I bet you're jealous, huh? Lots of people I showed have been super jealous. Even one of the girls commented what a good collection I had. So I'm gonna make a move and try and kiss her after school.
At this, he let out a short giggle snort that ejected more mucus from his nose, which he disposed of by wiping it off onto his grubby sweater sleeve. OP, feigning interest. Oh yeah, that sure is cool. But I don't think you should go after someone just for liking your Pokemon cards. Eh? Yeah, man. Snotbeard.
Now you're definitely jealous. Oh.
Cue another mucus-ejecting giggle snort. Now, despite how grubby and unclean this kid was, his Pokemon cards were pristine and well cared for. OP, so, shouldn't you have them in, like, a binder or something to keep them safe? Snotbeard.
Yeah, my mom's gonna get one for my birthday soon, although I hope she gets the right one. That bitch is always making dumb mistakes when it comes to the stuff I want.
OP, right. Well, saved by the bell. Bring! It was the end of break. Me and A made a quick retreat to head back to class. At the same time, however, the wind suddenly changed direction, and we heard a panicked squeal coming from behind us. Snotbeard.
No! My Pokemon cards! Oh!
The wind had caught his cards that were still laid out on the bench and blown them all over the place. Into the pebbles that were on the floor around the benches, into the hedges, just generally all over. Me and A couldn't contain ourselves at the sight of this rat-like, smelly, bearded creature scrabbling around picking up his cards. And we both started laughing before continuing to head back inside into class. We heard faint shrieks even still. Snotbeard.
Oh, where's my Charizard? Oh, where is it?
We'd all taken our seat in math class. Snotbeard's seat at the back of the room remained empty for a good few minutes, until we heard running coming down the corridor. Snotbeard barges into the classroom, puffing and massively out of breath. He might have been skinny as heck, but he definitely wasn't very fit either. His glasses were crooked on his nose, and beads of sweat coated his forehead, making his dandruff-ridden hair stick in wet clumps. His snotty nose was, as usual, front and center. Teacher. Snotbeard, why are you late and just barging into my classroom? Snotbeard panting.
Pokemon cards.
That's the best answer ever.
Blown everywhere. Had to save them. Puff. Wheeze. More important than your lesson.
The teacher raised an eyebrow and held out a hand. Teacher. Well, in that case, you'd best give them here and let me look after them so they don't get blown away again. Snotbeard immediately started to protest, raising his nasally voice and sputtering a mixture of spit and mucus in the teacher's direction. But eventually he gave in and reluctantly handed them over. Although, as he turned, his school bag hit the teacher's cup of coffee and sent it flying, spilling the hot contents over the girl who sat directly in front of the teacher. No way, dude. This is like sitcom level. She immediately panicked and started crying. Snotbeard tried to turn and help using his clammy, dirty hands to try and brush the scalding liquid off of her. That's not how liquid works, my dude. Snotbeard.
Oh, cutie, are you okay? Let me help make it better.
The poor girl naturally freaked out and pushed Snotbeard away from her. The teacher had had enough by this point. Teacher. Snotbeard! Headmaster's office! Now! Snotbeard.
But I need to help my cutie here.
Teacher. You've done quite enough! Snotbeard.
Fine. I hate you. You don't understand. I was just trying to help my cutie out.
Teacher. Out! Oh, God. And with that, Snotbeard stomped out of the room and down the corridor. The teacher escorted the girl to the nurse's room, where she was given what treatment they had for scald burns, and she was suggested to visit the doctor just in case. Snotbeard ended up getting detention for a couple of days and had to write an apology letter to the girl. I pity her having to read that. God knows what he might have put in it. I dread to even think. His Pokemon cards were also kept in the teacher's desk drawer for a couple of weeks before he was given them back, and he never really brought them in again. And that concludes this tale of SNOTBEARD. More may follow, and I hope that you have enjoyed the read. See you around, and have a great day. What a fucking disaster. I can't even imagine seeing something like that unfold. It's just so uncanny. Holy crap. I mean, I kind of do believe it, you know? Coming back from break, that teacher's got a hot coffee and stuff sitting on the desk. Yeah, it could happen. I definitely remember a time when Pokemon cards were like the hot ticket item. I think I was in 4th or 5th grade. Luckily, we did have our little nerdy circle. It had already been established long before Pokemon cards came into the picture. But I can imagine moving to a new school and trying to integrate yourself into a friend group. It's always pretty awkward. The way to do that is with humor, not trying to make people jealous. Jealousy never works. Hey, you guys want to be friends with me because of the things that I have? Even if they say yes, they're saying yes for all the wrong reasons. And honestly, I do hope that was a lesson that SNOTBEARD was able to learn eventually, but I'm eager to hear some more stories. I really love series and stuff. So I'm chomping at the bit, OP. I hope you bring us some more SNOTBEARD. The cringe was just too good with those descriptions and stuff. I don't know if it gets everybody else the way that it gets me, but oh my god, my spine, I'm pretty sure I fractured my spine. We'll see if I can still stand up from my chair when this is all over. Oh, Lord. Quite a specimen indeed. What a creature. And I really like how OP described him as like a ratling, you know, -2 to dexterity. It's too good. I hope to hear more quite soon. And if you guys would also like to hear more, I hope that you will like, comment, and or subscribe on the video. That is always appreciated. Maybe share it around if you've got somebody that cringes at bodily fluids as much as I do. Or maybe if they just need a laugh. You know what I mean? That's probably the better reason to do those things. I know cringe is good and all, but it ain't gonna make you any friends. But you'll be my friend if you check out some of the links in the description. We got Wifey's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. Hey, we're rocking some praying mantis over there. It's a good subreddit if you haven't heard of it quite yet. And even if you had, I like the banter between Wifey and I on our videos. She's just broke 800 subs, so that is super exciting. Hoping to get 1,000 by the end of the month, but I guess we shall see. We've got Darkly Studios on Twitter. He did all the character animations. Super cool dude, super professional with the commissions. We've got my personal subreddit, r/ReddX Reads, which was actually where the SNOTBEARD story came from. We've also got my Teespring if you're trying to rock the merch, and the Amazon affiliate link. It goes to my microphone currently, but if you go through there, search up anything else you want on Amazon, make a purchase, then I get kicked like a small percentage of the proceeds, which is honestly pretty cool. That's a win-win for everybody. We've also got the social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Oh, and how could I almost forget my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons? I'd like to thank them all, but especially ZeroMMX, Lady Nix, Robert Waite, Cider Drinker, Tato Ferret, The Last Shinobi, Mark 211, Aaron W, Mitch, John Hero, Candy Sora, Fire Drake, Little Lone Wolf, Miss Monday, Silent Revolver, JM Coon, Leon Embers, TSM Kirby, Red One, Synaptic Boomstick, Jerry, Staples, Yeet, Cake Jerry, Nat One Nick, Tamago, Jelly Donut, Liverson, James Cook, and a new challenger approaches, Papa Jesus. That's 2 days in a row. We got some new patrons, so thank you guys so much for spreading the word, deciding to support the channel. Sometimes things do get demonetized. I did say some bad words in this episode. I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. If the bad words in the episode are censored, then it didn't go well. I pulled it off and re-edited it and re-uploaded it. Well, that's just how it be sometimes. The price we gotta pay for freedom of speech, I suppose. Obviously, if you can help support any of these wonderful people with pushing back against the demonetization, that is absolutely massive. I thank you very, very much in advance. But if you can't right now, don't sweat it too much, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow, because really the views is how my beard stays so buttered. In order to join us, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe watching some more ReddX videos. Yeah, we got so much more cringe to be had. So I hope you check it out. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I will see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.